Hey, KB with you. Time for After the Facts for UFC Vegas 41, where Marvin Vettori was victorious over Paulo Costa in the main event. It went all 5 rounds. Very surprising. Didn't expect that. Was actually quite the war. And even though there were a lot of shenanigans earlier in the week, I do give respect to Costa. It was an incredible fight, but Marvin pulled it off, and it was really a great win for him, a win that he needed. He came on the post show after, and he said he knows he needs to get the finish. You know, he's trying to fine tune things to get to the point where he's finishing these fights because that is elusive to him, and he knows that he needs to get that, but he's working on it. But it was a great win for him, and there are some facts on the two of them. But first and foremost, fight of the night went to Gregory Rodriguez and Jin Young Park. That was the featured prelim. And Rodriguez kind of was in some trouble. They kind of went back and forth. It was quite the war. And then eventually Park was knocked out. And yeah, that was quite the victory. So congratulations to them for fight of the night. And performance bonuses did go to Marvin Vettori and to Alex Caceres. And Caceres had the comeback win after getting an illegal knee thrown at him. And in fact, we didn't get to talk to him after the fights because he was transported to hospital to check for CT scans, I believe, to his face and head because of that knee. So hopefully everything is okay with Alex. And speaking of Alex, if you look at my IG, I posted a throwback pic of us from 10 years ago. It was crazy. Like, it's crazy. The guy he's been in the UFC for 10 years. He's only 33 years old. It's great. So, and in fact, I have a fact on him. So longest active UFC win streaks in the featherweight division, 8 in a row is the champ, Alexander Volkanovski, 8 in a row also for Arnold, and 7 for Giga Chikadze, and 5 in a row now for Alex Caceres and Bryce Mitchell. There's some facts. There you go. Okay. I realize, okay, sometimes I do that and it screws up the focus a little. I realize that now after the fact. Get it? Okay, so let's talk about the main event, Marvin Vettori and Paulo Costa. Okay, so they set a record with significant strikes. There was a little bit of back and forth earlier in the evening with the facts on this because at first we got the facts and we were like, oh, in the such and such in a middleweight fight. And then we were like, wait, no, they didn't fight at middleweight. They fought at 205. So Marvin Vettori landed 190 significant strikes. Paulo Costa landed 163. So now those are now the most and second most landed in a light heavyweight fight of all time in the UFC. And so that means they're combined 353 significant strikes landed, which is the 4th largest count in UFC history. And it's the largest count ever involving a fight that doesn't involve Max Holloway. That's the way they sent these facts. It was quite funny on that one. Okay, I just did it again. Sorry if this just got blurry. So that was it. There's not too many facts tonight, but still, it was an entertaining night. There were 14 fights. They all stayed intact. So hopefully that means we're getting out of this COVID thing. But yeah, so next stuff is UFC 263 over on Fight Island. I'm not going to that one. Then there's New York. I will not be there, but after that, I'll be back in November. But of course, I did these after the facts after every UFC show. Also, we'll have a new What Had Happened Was with Angela Hill. On Monday, we'll go over all this stuff. And on Tuesday night, we have Tuesday Night Festivities, me and Renato Laranja. And this week, we have Raging Ally Quinta, who is fighting on that New York card in a couple of weeks. And I just love that kid. So really looking forward to talking to him. Last week, we had Josh Barnett on, and it was so much fun. If you're looking for ideas for Halloween movies, scary movies, and things like that, check out that episode because we took a deep dive on a lot of Halloween stuff and horror stuff and all kinds of things like that. So really worth your time watching if you're a movie buff at all. And we also get into music stuff. Josh is just kind of a Renaissance guy. So we talked for quite a while, but it was really fun. So Tuesday Night Festivities, me and Renato Laranja, that's at 8 o'clock on the West Coast on my IG Live. And What Had Happened Was comes out on Mondays. That is on YouTube and on Angie's IGTV, and then also on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and iHeartRadio. Anyway, that's it for me. Thanks for checking this out, and I'll see you on the next one.